What's going on, guys? What's going on, Thai Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, Ohio State beat Notre Dame in the national championship game. And I thought this game was actually going to go back and forth, but it seemed like Howard, the Ohio State quarterback, Smith, the wide receiver for Ohio State, were just ready to dominate Notre Dame this game. Like once it got 14-7, I think Notre Dame had to turn this game around because Ohio State was the better team overall. Ohio State was the better team overall because you have a coach in Ryan Day that was on the hot seat. Ohio State did not, let me get the elephant out of the room. You had a head coach in Ryan Day that was on the hot seat last year, and he had something to prove. You had Ohio State lose to Michigan last year and this year, which I think, let me get the elephant out of the room. I think this was after Ohio State lost to the rival Michigan. I think that was a wake up call. That was a wake up call to say, hey, we lost to our rival. We lost to our rival. And and we lost to our rival. That is a wake up call. Because let me get the elephant out of the room. And I'm just going to say this. I think like with Ohio State, they had to win this game. They had to win this game to say Ohio State had the better team. And what I'm going to say about Notre Dame is, let me get the elephant out of the room. Marcus Freeman is the coach for Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman. Congrats to him. Congrats to him. Because he got Notre Dame in the national championship. And this was the second time that Ohio State had to, the second time or third time that Ohio State had to face Notre Dame. Because the last two times we met, Ohio State met them in the regular season. And I'm going to say this. I definitely think when it was 31-15, I think when it was 31-17 to 31-15 or 31-17, whichever it was. I think when it was 31-7-15, Ohio State was going to win this game. Because it looked like almost at the 2 minute warning. Let me get the elephant out of the room. It looked like at the 2 minute warning when Ohio State was up in the third, 31-15, or if they had 17 at the time, Ohio State was going to win this. We have to give a lot of credit to Ohio State. Because here's what I think. Let me get the elephant out of the room. If Ohio State doesn't lose to Michigan, doesn't lose to Michigan, and doesn't lose to Michigan, doesn't lose to Michigan last year and this year, they wouldn't be more motivated to win this year. And as a Buckeyes fan, like this is our seventh national title. This is our seventh national title, and I'm just going to say this: if Ohio State can go back to back, which, let me get the elephant in the room. It's hard to go back to back. It's hard to go back to back. And it's hard to go back to back and win a second title or a third championship. It's hard to go back to back. But if Ohio State, let me just say this. If Ohio State next year, we're going to lose, half of this team that we have right now is going to go into the NFL, are going to go to the NFL draft, are going to go into the NFL draft like Sweat from Ohio State, I believe. Like, half of this team will probably be back, half of this team will probably not be back. Like, Jeremy Smith will probably not be back because he looks NFL ready. Sweat looks NFL ready. So, yeah, Ohio State is going to lose some key guy. Let me get the elephant in the room. Ohio State is going to lose some key guys that was a part of this team. I still think we're going to have Howard. We're going to have, I think if Jeremy Smith decides not to go to the NFL this year, I think he's probably going to come back next year. Back to Ohio State. But this team was something special. Because if you play let me get the elephant out of the room. If you play a fort, and you lose to your conference rival, whoever that is. For Ohio State, it's Michigan. But I think that was definitely a wake-up call for Ohio State losing to Michigan, because there's nothing that you can say about that. But Ohio State wins this. Let me get the elephant out of the room. We have to give credit to Ohio State. We have to give credit to Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman, their head coach. Because probably Marcus Freeman might have. Let me get the elephant out. I do think people need to. Let me get the elephant out of the room. People need to give Ryan Day an apology because he just won a national championship with this team with this team that with this Ohio State team. And if Jeremiah Smith decides to go to the NFL after winning a national championship with Ryan Day, let me get the elephant out of the room. If Jeremiah Smith decides to go to the NFL with Sweat after winning a national championship with Ryan Day, like, I would say that Jeremiah Smith is probably the best wide receiver coming into the NFL draft if he decides to go to the NFL draft. And probably one of the best college players I have seen. Because, like I said before, this is Ohio State's 7th championship, national championship. And I can see Ohio State getting back there after losing to Michigan last year and this year. Even though, let me get the elephant out of the room. This year, the Ohio State Michigan game got a little bit, it didn't make no sense. What happened between Ohio State and Michigan this year in that game? But back to this game. I do think that Jeremiah Smith is one of the top wide receivers that could come out of this draft or next year's draft if he decides to stay another year at Ohio State. Because winning this national championship over Notre Dame, like, Ohio State won this national championship, and Ohio State hasn't won a championship since 2014. And like I said, let me get the elephant out of the room. We have to give credit to Marcus Freeman because he might be an NFL coach one day. We have to give credit to Notre Dame. Like, having the final score being what it was, 34-23, it looked like that whole fourth quarter, Notre Dame was just going to have 15 points. And Ohio State was just going to run the football up on them. That missed field goal by Notre Dame, I think, let me get the elephant out of the room. That missed field goal by Notre Dame changed the whole game for Ohio State. That missed field goal by Notre Dame changed the whole game. It changed the factor, how the game was played. But guys, never give up your dreams. Guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody. And peace.